on, guys? I'm so happy to finally make this video and let you check out this 2019 Yamaha TTR 110L.
Whoa, what?
No, Yamaha does not make a 110L, unfortunately. However, after a month of grabbing this from the showroom floor, I do have this at the point where it is basically a KLX 110L with everything suspension setup wise, with the exception of a clutch. So I'm just going to run through a quick list of what I've done to turn this stock TTR 110 into a 110L, and I do have a small list of notes here. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and go through the mods real quick, what I've done to this bike so far. We're going to start here at the top. Obviously, Mica metals. These are their mini bars, and they are going to sit about the exact same height as the CRF 50 bars do on any KLX that you would see out there. I do have ODI half waffle grips on this bike, and that's just really a preference. I mean, you can run about any bar setup and any grip setup on these bikes that you want to, but that's really just a preference thing. As far as the ergonomics that the tall bars provide, if you are a taller rider, anyone over 10 years old, it's an absolute must on these pit bikes. Also have the TB parts, which is a T-Bolt USA in-house part. Brake, perch, and lever, obviously in black. Anytime you're running these tall bars, you do have to get an extended brake cable. I will say this one is for a CRF 110, and I did kind of have to fabricate this a little bit to make it work, but it does work perfectly fine as of now, the way it's installed. And you know, that's really the closest match. Like I was kind of saying in the intro, there's not a lot of people making TTR parts anymore, so finding something that will work and making it work is really the biggest thing here. Moving on down. So this is a tall seat as well. Sorry, I didn't even think to mention that. It does have a tall seat on here as well. It's a no-name brand. I do have a video of that as well. And I don't honestly remember where I found that at, but it was like 20 bucks. BBR doesn't make one for the TTR anymore. So it's just a, you know, generic brand tall seat. It's actually really, really good though. Full exhaust. This is a FMF Power Core 4 exhaust. A lot of people run Yoshi's, and you know, there's obviously other things. BBR still makes exhaust maybe. My first pick would have been a FMF Factory 4.1. As far as I could tell, they're about impossible to find for any make, and they are impossible to find for the TTR 110. Pretty much everywhere I looked, I mean, it was just not even close. Another part that I really wanted to get on this bike and just have not been able to get my hands on is the Fox Float MXR shock. I do have this mount kit as well for that Fox Float that I got from JTI Products. So as soon as it does come available somewhere, you know, I'm going to try to get my hands on it. So if anybody knows where you can find a Fox Float MXR for sale that actually has it in stock and not just says they have it in stock, let me know and provide a link for me. Just shoot it down in the comments, and I will be seriously grateful for that. This is a full exhaust. It's a one-piece exhaust, and it mounts all the way up from the header out to the end pipe. It does get pretty hot, but the heat shield is not really necessary. It's a fairly loud exhaust. So I do have a full exhaust video already out here on YouTube, so do check that out if you want to hear what it sounds like. I honestly believe it's probably going to be one of the best quality videos that you'll find on YouTube in regards to the sound quality of the exhaust, without being muffled or anything like that. All right, so one of my absolute favorite mods and a must-have if you're going to be an adult riding on a pit bike is this JTI Products. It's a Corso skid plate, and basically what it is a foot peg frame mount, and it's going to allow you to basically mount this new skid plate up directly to the frame without the risk of ripping any of the existing foot peg bolts directly out of the bottom of the case. Now, with this being like a $220 product, and your motor being about $1,100 to $1,200 on these bikes, that's pretty much a no-brainer for me. When you take off the existing foot peg mount and the existing skid plate, the weight is not any heavier for this really high quality and durable skid plate any more so than the stock parts were. So that's a humongous upgrade that you absolutely need to do if you're really going to be riding this thing. What this also allows you to do is you can mount up YZ125 foot pegs onto the bike. I mean, these are super strong. JTI actually makes those as well. And then this shifter here is a +1, and that's a TB part as well, directly from T-Bolt USA. I believe it's like $7 or $8. So what makes this bike right here a 110L? This bike is set up with BBR heavy duty springs and damping rods, and I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see in this low light. There's a marking about right here all the way around, and that is where the stock suspension setup sat. By installing the damping rods, I got about 1.5 inches of travel up front. Obviously, the stiff springs make a huge improvement on this bike for anyone who's, you know, bigger than 10 years old. Moving to the back, and again, I alluded to it earlier, the Fox Float MXR. If anybody can find one, let me know. I did pick up this DNM shock. This is a company out of Australia, and that's a 350-pound spring, and it's 290 millimeters of travel. As best I know, it's about 20 millimeters longer than the stock, and it pushes that rear swing arm down about 1.75 inches. So, I mean, when this bike is sitting on the ground, it's literally sitting the exact height of the KLX 110L. All right, so you may be asking yourself what's coming next on this bike, and I can assure you these are not the only mods that are going to be happening. The next thing lined up, JTI Products actually makes a really cool and low profile front sprocket guard, and that is coming here shortly. I also intend on getting the swing arm powder coated black, as well as the bottom part of the forks. So I'm not sure quite yet if I'm going to go with an Excel rim or anything like that. I know black wheels are definitely coming. I'm just not sure how I want to go about doing them yet. But either way, here really soon, these wheels are going to end up being black. Swing arm's going to be black, as well as the triple clamps and the bottom of the forks. Possibly the hubs are going to get powder coated black as well. So that's what's coming here in the short run. I did just want to do a quick bike check on this. I mean, it's basically exactly where I want it right now as far as riding goes. Took it out to the pit bike track a couple days ago, and I do have a video coming up of that as well, and it rides so much better. It's unbelievable. Again, no, Yamaha does not make a 110L. We sure wish they would, but this is about as close as you're gonna get with a stock motor for just a play bike. It's awesome. I mean, this build so far has turned out, and obviously we're not quite done yet, but this is really turned out to be exactly what I wanted it to be. All right, guys, so if you have any questions on this build whatsoever, drop them down in the comments below. If there are any videos that you would like to see that, you know, I possibly haven't made yet, drop those suggestions down in the comments below as well, and I will go ahead and get a video mocked up for that. Otherwise, like this video, subscribe to the channel. We got a ton of content coming. Otherwise, this is just a quick bike check. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.